Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're going to be doing a deep dive today
Oh, yeah.
into how tech is going to change the future of work.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah, we've got research reports, articles, even blog posts like from McKinsey, the World Economic Forum.
Oh, wow.
It's a real mix
Yeah.
of good stuff and, some stuff that's a little bit more challenging. So
Right.
really our goal today is to try and help you understand
Yeah,
not just what's changing, but like what it means for you.
exactly.
Like where do you fit in
Yeah.
all of this, whether you're just starting out,
Right,
in your career,
right.
or maybe you're like a seasoned pro
Absolutely.
who's been doing this for a while. So
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating because it's not just gazing into a crystal ball here.
right.
These changes are already happening. They're all around us.
And one of the things that really jumped out at me was this McKinsey report.
Yeah.
It paints a pretty stark picture of what's happening globally with work right now.
Right.
It's not all sunshine and roses.
Yeah.
They say there are something like 850 million people
Wow.
in major economies alone who are underemployed.
Yeah, that's a huge number.
It's huge.
Huge.
It's a huge number.
Who aren't working to their full potential.
Exactly. And what's interesting is this underutilization
Yeah.
isn't just because there's not enough jobs.
Right.
It's also about the skills
Yeah.
people have versus what employers are actually looking for.
That's right. A mismatch
Yeah, it's a mismatch.
between the skills and available jobs.
Yeah, like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly.
And then you add technology into this.
Right.
And it seems like it's almost making it worse.
Well, yeah.
And at the same time,
It is and it isn't.
offering some solutions.
Yeah. Technology can automate
Yeah.
tasks, sometimes even whole jobs,
Yeah.
which can contribute to unemployment.
Right.
But it also creates entirely new industries and ways of working
Right.
that we couldn't have even imagined a few years ago.
Yeah, so let's talk about automation.
The big question that I think everybody has
Yeah.
is
Right.
it going to take away all the jobs?
Oh, yeah. Is my job going to be gone?
Exactly.
Years.
McKinsey says less than 5%
Okay.
of jobs right now are fully automatable.
All right.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
60% of jobs
Oh, wow.
have at least 30%
Okay.
of their tasks that could be automated.
So
So this isn't like way off in the future.
Yeah.
This is happening now.
this is happening now.
And this brings up a really important point, I think.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about like your whole job disappearing.
Right.
It's the tasks within the job
Exactly. It's the tasks shifting.
shifting. Yeah.
And some tasks will be taken over by technology and others
Right.
won't.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this in terms of like,
Yeah.
data entry clerk.
Yeah.
Like in the past,
Right.
they spent all day, putting stuff into a spreadsheet.
Absolutely.
But now
Oh.
AI can do a lot of that, which frees up that person
Right.
to do more
Higher level tasks.
high-level stuff. Yeah.
Like data analysis.
Right.
And interpretation.
So it's less about robots taking our jobs.
Right.
It's more about robots doing the boring stuff,
Taking the tedious parts.
which could actually make our jobs better.
Yeah. And more interesting, potentially.
Right.
Exactly. More engaging.
Yeah. And one of the sources we looked at even talked about 3D printing
Oh, yeah.
and how it's like changing manufacturing.
Revolutionizing it.
Yeah, and it could even like bring jobs back to developed countries. They
Interesting.
call it reshoring.
Reshoring, that's right.
Yeah. And it's not just about making
Yeah.
cool gadgets either.
No, it's about
It's about real jobs
bringing back.
coming back,
Yeah.
manufacturing.
And there are actually historical precedents for this.
Yes.
McKinsey pointed out
Yeah,
that the internet actually created more jobs
that's right.
than it destroyed in France.
More jobs than it destroyed.
They said 700,000.
Net gain.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
So while technology can disrupt industries,
Yeah.
it also has this potential to create
Yeah.
these new opportunities. But
Yeah, there's always a but.
there's always a but.
There's always a catch.
We need to be adaptable
Yeah.
and willing to learn new skills.
Absolutely. And speaking of new ways of working, let's talk about remote work.
Oh, yeah. This is a big one.
The rise of the remote worker. This was already a trend before the pandemic,
It was.
but things really accelerated over the last few years.
They really did.
And one of our sources, this report from the Simi Valley Adult School,
Okay.
says that 98% of
98%.
people who worked remotely
Wow.
want to keep doing it,
Really?
at least part-time.
So almost everybody.
Almost everybody. Yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
flexibility is key.
Yeah, that statistic really highlights the desire for autonomy and,
better work-life balance.
Right.
But we also need to be realistic about the
Yeah.
challenges of remote work.
I mean, there's potential for isolation
Yeah.
and difficulty maintaining
No.
those boundaries between work
Yeah, it's hard to turn off.
and personal life.
Yeah, for sure. And that ties into another source that we have,
Yeah.
a paper from the National Intelligence Council.
Okay.
They talk about the growth of the gig economy,
Yeah.
which is basically like freelancing
Right.
on steroids. And
Yeah.
there's some concerns there about worker security,
Yes.
pay, and benefits.
Benefits are really important.
Yeah, so it raises the question of, what happens to traditional workplaces long term?
Yes. Will we see a complete shift,
Yeah.
or will there be some kind of hybrid model
Right.
that combines the best of both worlds?
That's something to think about.
It is, yeah. It really is mind-blowing
Yeah.
to think about how much the world of work is changing
Right.
and how much more it's likely to change. In the
Yeah.
years to come, it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what will those changes look like for, individual people? What does it mean for someone who's
Yeah.
hoping to land their dream job 5 or 10 years from now?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's one that I think a lot of people are thinking about.
Right.
Whether they're just starting out
Yeah.
or they're like really seasoned pros.
Absolutely.
I think we've talked a lot about,
Yeah.
the big picture stuff, like the global trends.
To big forces.
Yeah, but what does this actually mean
Yeah.
for a person?
Right. Like, what can people do
Right.
to prepare themselves for this?
Exactly.
The rapidly evolving future of work.
Yeah, well, I think one of the most important things is this idea of lifelong learning.
Absolutely.
We can't just rely on.
You can't just rest on your laurels.
Right.
You can't just say, oh, well, I went to school.
Yeah, I got my degree.
I got my
anyway.
degree.
I'm done.
I'm good.
No, it's
It doesn't work that way anymore.
a constant evolution.
Right. Because
But-
technology is changing so fast, right?
That you constantly have to be
You have to be learning.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
we all have to become professional students,
In a way, yes.
which can be overwhelming.
it can be.
Right.
But what's really interesting is that technology itself can actually help us navigate this,
Right.
new world of learning.
Yeah.
I mean, we have access to so many online courses,
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff out there.
tutorials, workshops,
Yeah.
all kinds of resources, many of which are free or very affordable.
Right. And it's really about finding the right stuff,
That's the challenge.
sifting through it all.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
It really is.
Sometimes.
No, it's not just about being willing to learn. It's about knowing what to learn.
It's about being strategic
Yeah.
about what you learn.
Right. Like what skills are
I
actually
was going to be
going to get you that job.
In demand
Yeah,
in your field.
exactly. And that's where I think things like,
Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
can help us.
Yeah, the AI-powered platforms.
Yeah, because you could put in your
Yeah.
skills and you know what your interests
Yeah,
are.
and your aspirations.
Yeah, and it could spit out like a plan for you.
Exactly. A customized learning plan.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It would take the guesswork out of it.
Yeah, it really would. But, it's not just about
Yeah.
those technical skills.
Right.
What about the soft skills?
The soft skills are super important.
Like, what are those again?
Communication, collaboration,
Uh-huh.
critical thinking, problem solving,
So, like the human stuff.
the human stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are becoming even more essential
Oh, really?
in the future of work.
Okay, why is that?
Well, because as technology takes over,
Yeah.
more of those routine tasks,
Yeah.
human workers are going to be increasingly valued
Yeah.
for their ability to, think creatively,
Yeah.
solve complex problems,
Right.
communicate effectively,
Collaborate.
collaborate. Yeah.
So it's not about like us versus the machines.
No.
It's about us working with them.
It's about humans and machines working together, each bringing our unique strengths
Right.
to the table.
Like a partnership.
A partnership, exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, one of the things that I'm excited about
Yeah.
with this whole, future of work thing
Yeah.
is that it could create like
Yeah.
more fulfilling jobs.
More meaningful work.
Yeah, because if we're not doing the boring stuff,
Exactly.
then we can actually do
Sucks on the thing.
the stuff
yeah.
that,
light us up.
that actually makes us want to go to work.
Exactly.
But let's be realistic.
Okay.
Not everybody's going to be happy about this.
No, not everyone is going to be thrilled.
Right? Some people might be scared.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be fear.
They're going to be afraid of robots taking their jobs.
Absolutely.
What do we do about that?
Yeah. How do we help people adapt
Yeah.
to this new reality?
Yeah, and feel like confident
Yeah.
about their place in the future.
I think it starts with education and awareness.
Okay.
We need to help people understand that these changes are happening.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that they have to be left behind.
Right.
There are ways to adapt,
Right.
learn new skills,
Yeah.
to find new opportunities.
And it's not just on the individual, though, right?
No, it's not just on the individual.
Like, I feel like companies and governments
Absolutely.
got a part to play in this, too.
They have a huge role to play
Yeah.
in providing training and support,
Right.
as well as, creating policies
Yeah.
that make sure everyone benefits from these advances.
So it's really about creating a system
Yes,
where people feel like they can kind of go with the flow.
exactly, where they feel empowered
Yeah.
to embrace the change rather than fearing it.
Right. And I think tech can even be a part of that.
Oh, absolutely. Technology can be a powerful tool
Yeah.
for fostering that sense of empowerment.
Okay, so speaking of empowerment,
Yes.
one of the things that we've seen is the rise of the gig economy,
The gig economy, yeah.
where people are, freelancing more,
More and more people are working as freelancers or
Yeah.
independent contractors.
which can be great.
It can offer a lot of flexibility and autonomy.
Freedom, right?
Yeah, freedom, but
What
there are
comes with freedom?
challenges.
Right, like how do we make sure,
Yeah. How do we make sure that gig workers
yeah,
have access to the same benefits and protections
right.
as traditional employees?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's a question that policymakers are grappling with right now.
I bet.
We need to find ways to adapt our laws
Yeah,
and our social safety nets
right.
to this new reality of work.
So this whole shift to like flexible work
Yeah.
makes me think that we need to rethink
I think so.
how we even define work,
Absolutely.
what it means to have a job.
And how we regulate it.
Yeah.
How do we make sure that everyone has access
Yeah,
to a fair and equitable playing field?
that's a big question.
It is a big question.
And, it makes me think about education.
Education, yeah.
Like, what if?
What if we need to rethink our whole education system?
Yeah, what if instead of like memorizing stuff?
Rote memorization.
Yeah.
Standardized tests.
What if it was more about like,
What if we emphasized
yeah,
critical thinking, problem solving,
creativity? Yeah.
creativity, adaptability?
Like the things that you actually need.
Exactly, the skills that you'll actually need
Yeah,
to thrive
to be successful.
in this rapidly evolving world of work.
Yeah, because those are the skills that aren't going away.
And those skills aren't just about technology.
Right.
They're about being able to learn quickly,
Uh-huh.
to adapt to change,
Yeah.
to work effectively in teams,
Yeah.
to communicate clearly and persuasively.
Right, because those are things that computers can't do.
Exactly.
So it's not just about what we learn.
Right.
It's how we learn.
It's how we learn.
Like maybe we need to move away from this.
Yeah.
Like everybody learns the same way.
The one-size-fits-all model.
Yeah, and make it more
More personalized,
individualized.
more experiential.
Yeah,
That caters to the needs and talents of each student.
I like that. And I feel like tech could even be a part of that.
Oh, absolutely. Technology can play a huge role
Yeah,
in facilitating that shift.
yeah, because there's all this.
We already have access to incredible online learning platforms,
Yeah,
virtual reality tools, and other resources
that can make learning fun.
that can make learning more engaging
Yeah.
and more personalized.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is exciting.
But we do need to be mindful of the downsides.
We do. We can't just focus on the shiny, exciting aspects
Right.
and ignore the potential downsides.
Right, like the digital divide.
Digital divide is a big one.
Yeah, where people just don't have access.
People don't have access to the technology,
Or maybe they don't even know how to use it.
or they don't have the skills to use it effectively.
Right, and then they're left behind.
And they get left behind, exactly.
Yeah. So we need to make sure everybody has a chance
We need to make sure that everyone has the opportunity
to be a part of this.
to participate fully in this digital future.
And we need to watch out for
Yeah.
tech being used to like,
We need to be mindful of the potential for
Yeah.
technology to be used in ways that,
Yeah.
reinforce existing inequalities or create new ones.
yeah.
It's up to us to make sure that technology is used for good,
Right.
to create a more just and equitable world for everyone.
That's a big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility.
But I think we can do it.
I think we can too.
And I think it starts with
I think it starts with having these open and honest conversations
yes, talking about it.
about the impact of technology on our lives.
On our work, on our society.
on our society as a whole.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Exactly. That's what this deep dive has been all about.
Yeah.
You know, exploring the complexities,
Challenging assumptions.
challenging assumptions,
Yeah,
and sparking a conversation
yeah, that hopefully continues.
that hopefully continues long after this episode ends.
So as we kind of wrap up this part,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
What role do you want technology to play?
In your own work life,
Yeah,
what are your hopes and fears?
and what can you do
Yeah.
today
What steps can you take today
to start making the future?
to start creating the future of work that you want to see?
Yeah, it's time to get proactive.
The future is in our hands.
It's interesting, we've been talking about all these potential futures
Yeah.
and changes,
Yeah.
and it really struck me that
That's sad.
like technology isn't this thing
Right.
that's happening to us.
Yeah.
Like we actually have some control here,
That's such a crucial point.
right?
It's so easy to feel like we're
Yeah.
just getting swept up in the current.
Yeah, like it's an unstoppable force.
Yeah, like technology is this unstoppable wave,
Yeah,
but we're the ones who are actually making the choices
exactly.
about how we develop it,
How we use it.
how we use it, and what role it plays in our lives.
Yeah, and that makes me think back to something
Yeah.
we talked about earlier about how technology can connect us with our humanity.
Oh, yeah.
Which sounds kind of...
It does sound counterintuitive,
Right.
but when you think about it,
Yeah.
it's true.
I mean, in a world that's all about, like,
Yeah, in a world that's increasingly driven by data
beta. Yeah.
and automation,
Yeah, we forget about, like, the human stuff.
it's easy to lose sight of the things that make us human.
Like what?
You know, creativity, empathy, compassion,
Yeah.
the ability to connect with others on a deeper level.
And I don't think tech has to take that away.
I don't think so either.
I actually think it can, like,
I think it can enhance it.
make it better.
Absolutely. I mean, look at all the ways that
Yeah.
technology is being used
Right.
to promote well-being,
Mental health.
to foster creativity,
Yeah.
and to connect people across geographical boundaries.
There's so much cool stuff out there.
There are incredible tools and platforms out there
Yeah.
that allow people to, you know,
Express themselves.
express themselves creatively,
Yeah.
learn from each other, build communities around shared interests.
Yeah. So technology can actually be a force for good.
I think so.
So if we were to imagine, like,
Yeah.
a perfect world,
Okay, a future of work.
yeah, where tech is actually making us better humans,
Yeah, where technology enhances our humanity.
what would that look like?
What would that look like?
What are some things that we should, like,
Some key elements.
strive for?
I think for me, it all starts with purpose.
Okay.
You know, I think people are really craving work that feels meaningful,
Yeah.
that aligns with their values,
Yeah.
and, you know, lets them make a positive impact
Have an impact, yeah.
on the world.
It's not just about the paycheck anymore.
It's not just about a paycheck.
It's about doing something that matters.
It's about feeling like you're contributing to something larger than yourself.
I love that. And imagine if
Imagine if AI...
AI could help us find those jobs.
Yeah, what if AI could help us identify not just, you know,
Yeah.
the jobs that we're skilled for,
Right.
but the jobs that we're passionate about,
Yeah. The jobs that light us up.
the jobs that light us up.
That would be amazing.
That would be a game changer.
And it's not just about, like,
Right.
finding the right job. It's about,
It's about the environment.
yeah, the whole
Work environment. Creating work environments that support well-being.
Yeah.
Creativity, continuous learning,
So think like flexible hours,
flexible work arrangements.
collaboration,
Yeah, collaborative spaces.
you know, making sure that people have a chance to learn.
Ample opportunities for professional development.
Yeah. And, you know, mental health is a part of that too.
Absolutely. And where people feel valued
Yeah.
for their unique contributions.
That sounds like a dream.
It does sound like a dream.
But let's be real.
But let's be realistic.
This is going to be hard.
It's not going to be easy.
Right? There are problems that we have to solve.
There are systemic challenges.
Right. Like, not everybody has the same opportunity.
There are economic disparities.
Yeah.
There are deeply ingrained biases.
We can't ignore those.
We need to address those.
And, you know, we've talked about all the good stuff that tech can do,
Right.
but we can't forget about the downsides.
We can't just focus on the shiny, exciting aspects
Right.
and ignore the potential downsides.
Got to pay attention to the digital divide.
The digital divide is a big one.
And you know what happens when jobs get automated?
The risk of automation-induced job displacement.
Yeah, and we have to make sure that tech isn't used
And we have to be mindful
to like make things worse.
of the potential for technology to be used in ways that,
Yeah.
reinforce existing inequalities.
So it's complicated.
It's complex.
But I think if we
But I think if we work together,
talk about it,
if we have open and honest conversations,
we can make it work.
we can create a future of work that benefits everyone.
And that's what this whole deep dive has been about.
That's what it's all about.
Getting people talking,
Exploring the complexities,
thinking about the problem.
challenging assumptions,
Yeah. And hopefully
and sparking a conversation.
this is just the beginning.
That continues long after this episode ends.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with one question.
Okay.
What kind of future of work do you want?
What do you want to see?
What do you want technology to do?
What role do you want technology to play in your life?
And most importantly,
Yeah.
what are you going to do about it
What actions can you take
today to start creating that future?
The future is in our hands.
It's not something that just happens to us.
We get to decide.
It's something we create together.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.
We hope it's made you think about things.
We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
And until next time,
Keep exploring,
keep learning,
keep learning.
and let's build the future of work together. The future of work.